have a plan.
Sports.
Here, let me see.
The gift that keeps on giving.
You kind of have a plan on what you think you want to do, and then it never turns out that way. So, I don't want to say we'll talk about Michigan and X and not get there. Maz is out once again today. Stick in his stead. Hey there, big guy.
How's it going, fellas?
Real fine, real
good,
fine.
man.
How you doing?
Feeling good today. Feeling right. Happy to be here.
So were you in on the conversation prior to the show starting that we had in the back?
Which conversation?
So the conversation was in regards to Braylon. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yes.
Do you think, Joe Schmo could walk off the street and complete a pass in the NFL,
Right.
or run for 3 yards in the NFL?
So when the question was presented to me, the first reaction that I had was neither. Nobody's coming off the street and completing a pass, and nobody's coming off the street or running for 3 yards. So the answer is neither. But if I'm forced to live in this hypothetical world, then I would say that running the ball behind a good offensive line for 3 yards would be easier than completing a pass in the NFL. But I mean, I played in the NFL. What do I know?
So I vehemently disagree with you.
I'm with you.
I think it would be.
Is everybody always? What is this?
Right.
Me versus
Everybody. You versus
D-Mac
everybody.
was with you, Braylon.
But D-Mac's no longer here. I'm defending myself right now.
I think it would be way easier to complete for me. I'll speak for myself.
Right.
I think it would be way easier for me to complete a pass to you, perhaps, than for me to get a handoff and run the ball 3 yards.
Here's my logic
Go
behind
ahead.
it. Here's my logic behind it. I've played in my history in the NFL. I've played with, I don't want to make up a fake number, but a real number. I've 27 quarterbacks. Only 2 of them can complete passes.
Mm-hmm.
You got guys that are making $30 million that are struggling to complete passes in the NFL. I think there's just too many intangibles that come with, one, you got to take a center quarterback exchange. Jared Goff couldn't even do that last year, and we pay him $30 million.
Mm-hmm.
So now you got to get through the center quarterback exchange. Then you got to be able to quick fire, because I assume you guys think you're going to throw a quick
fire,
slam
shot.
or zero.
That's my strategy.
No.
Or
Same.
zero screen, right?
A screen coming right at me.
shotgun pass.
Yep.
Out in less than a second.
It would be fun to watch you guys try to complete zero screens with nobody out there, just you and the wide receiver, to see how hard that throw is lateral. Now you add a line in front of you. Now you add a defensive line. Now you add noise. Now you add all that. Not to mention, how tall are you? You're not even going to be able to see. So now you got to secure the snap, be able to turn and throw. There are so many. We played this game during training camp. Like, coaches that have us, like, take the snap and try to complete passes, and, it's like reverse roles. We'll have guys like wide receivers be kickers. We'll have kickers be quarterbacks, and you do it like that. Guys struggle getting the center exchange snap and then turning and throwing the pass. Not to mention the defense. You're going to have a defensive line that's going to come down the line. You got a DB that's playing off the wide receiver.
Yeah.
All of these happens. In running the ball, I figure this. If you got a line, the line is able to kind of do their job. You might get a guy off the street that happens to run 4.7, we didn't know it, and he can sneak and get 3 yards. Neither one of these hypotheticals are happening, but I would go with that one.
See, and all those are very valid points, but I think you're forgetting just how slow I am. And that's the thing. Like,
Right.
these NFL running backs are running 4.2, 4.3, 4.4, 4.5. I'm out here running a 5.3. There's no way I'm even making it to the line of scrimmage before those beasts up front get to me. I can trust my arm to turn and throw a 90 now, or a zero screen, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
And I have a lot more faith that this arm can get the ball to you 10, 20 yards away than
Right.
me can beat a linebacker to a hole.
So
can't-
my situation is in both cases, there's virtually no chance.
Yeah.
Yes.
Can we get that out of there?
I'm with that.
And the question was, though, what do you think you'd have an easier time doing? You're going to, at that point, rely on other people for help.
Yeah.
In this case, I would rather rely on one wide receiver than 5 offensive linemen, because you need 5 offensive linemen to get the push for you to go 3 yards. You need one wide receiver even to make a circus catch.
Yeah.
For you to get it right. I envision in this scenario a shotgun snap
Yeah.
and immediately turn to the outside and throw for 1 yard.
It's called a zero screen.
Zero screen.
Okay, now with that zero screen, and I get that. Now that makes sense. I like the logic behind that. I trust myself, catch a snap, quickly throw it out there. I get that and I understand that. But now you got a rush in who's coming off to try to knock that zero screen down, because if you got an Aaron Donald or any of these other rush ends in the NFL or rush left ends or whatever side you want to put them on, they're going to get in that passing lane. Because they're going to know you're throwing a pass. So they're going to get in the pass lane, too. You got to complete the pass on a DB. Like, DBs are getting paid just as much as wide receivers.
Can I cheat and do like the Patrick Mahomes where the wide receiver's coming in front of me and I just like toss it to him like that?
There you go. We did not determine what kind of pass.
It's a pass. It's technically a completion.
But technically,
forward pass.
It's a forward pass, but we're talking about getting.
No, I'm just trying to find any loophole I can do to make myself successful.
If you don't gain a yard, then it doesn't count.
Correct.
So then, I mean, it technically it's a completed pass, but it's a negative. So
that's pretty fun, though.
It is fun, though.
Yeah, we had that discussion. We were talking about that. We'll talk a little Lions football with Kory Woods coming up at 3 o'clock. I think we're going to have him in studio, correct?
Correct.
Michigan State began camp today. Mel Tucker spoke with the media. Michigan State's an intriguing team this year, too. We did this the other day with Michigan. The ESPN.com came up with a series of ifs. Like for Alabama, for Alabama to win the national championship, they had 2 ifs.
And did you hear Saban say that Alabama was rebuilding?
Last year was a rebuilding year for them in the national title game.
Sorry to interrupt you.
Yeah,
terrifying.
Dr. Saul Kogan in the house, by the way, and Kid leaving now, just checking it out. How you doing, guys? Thanks so much for coming. Good to see you, Dr. Saul, my guy.
They were rebuilding, which is a crazy thing, and even this year, their secondary is what they're rebuilding. Like the Woodward for Alabama is the secondary, so it is crazy. Like Stick said, to be like Alabama, stop playing, you're rebuilding.
Right.
That secondary definitely needed some building, but then they went to the transfer portal this offseason. So
yeah, so ESPN did this. How many ifs for Team X to get in the national championship game or win the national championship? For Alabama, it was 2. For Ohio State, it was 2. For Georgia, it was 3, I believe. For Michigan and Michigan State, it was 4 ifs.
Hold on. Michigan State had the same amount of ifs as Michigan.
Yeah, but way longer odds.
Okay.
Way longer odds. But
it should be 9 ifs for Michigan State.
Yeah, exactly. But we can go through that a little bit later on in the show as well. Guys, I have to tell you, my day did not get off to a great start today.
Why is that, my brother?
It was very, very sad. Very sad.
Damn, what's going on?
I have relied upon this daily as fuel. It has been something that I look forward to, that has been appointment viewing for me.
Damn, what's going on, brother?
It has made me a better person.
Yeah.
It has made me reflect on how I want to live my life.
Right on.
Dan Campbell did not have a press conference this morning.
I thought something else. I thought this was SMA. I thought something was going on. Something you wanted to reach out. Is Dan Campbell?
Dan Campbell left a void in my life today.
Stick, you agree with this?
I do. To me, it's appointment watching at this point, man. I'm just as excited as Ryan is when he gets the text.
Can't believe it. I was hitting refresh. Finally, I texted my good friend Dan Miller, and I said, am I missing something here? And I just got something back. It said, no Campbell today. Practice, yes. No Campbell presser.
I need Dan Campbell in my life every day.
Every day.
He's my coffee.
Couldn't believe it.
You guys are some homers, I tell you that.
Needed it.
Hey, you know what? There's some Gypsy vodka right there. If you need a shot of that,
Yeah.
maybe that'll get you going. Maybe get you a mulligan or something.
Did you see his quote on the Hard Knocks trailer?
No, what was it?
We will tread water as long as it takes to effing bury you. Love it.
Come on.
Love
you
it.
need that in your life.
Give me more.
You need it in your life. The Dan Campbell presser. We'll get back to that tomorrow. Very exciting stuff. I cannot believe I have come to rely. And there it is. There it is. Keaton Rudiger. Clown emoji.
I tell you like this. Comments like that, though, Will, and I know we're up against a commercial. I know comments like that for a fact. When you got the right coach, when he makes those comments, we'll tread water as long as it takes us for smash you or bury you. Like, that's the stuff when you got the coach that believes in that and you can see it. Like Rex Ryan, when he would say that stuff, I was like, oh, he's serious. Like, you take it there. And I've seen Rex Ryan cry, and, you know, I'm not a crier, but I took it serious. I said I got cares about it. So that gets teams, and we'll talk about a guy that, you know what I'm saying, he obviously came back because he believes in Dan Campbell, but it's a real deal when you get guys you can believe. Some guys, they try to have that stick, no pun intended. They try to have that stick, but you know they're fake, and they're full of it, and they're just trying to get guys going. But when you got a guy that really believes that, you're like, oh, man, we got to turn it on.
There you go. All right, guys. We'll get into some Lions talk a little bit later on in the show. But the story of the day in the NFL, once again, is Deshaun Watson. The NFL is appealing that suspension. What will happen next? We'll talk about it. But first, a message from Cintron.
Cintron is the official energy drink of the Detroit Red Wings. Cintron has combined all three of their delicious flavors. That's right. It's the original, it's the sugar-free, and it is the cranberry into a one-of-a-kind limited edition 6-pack sampler box. Go pre-order it now. Limited edition, only a limited amount available at CintronWorld.com/Red Wings. That is CintronWorld.com/Red Wings. Let Cintron get you energized. Let them be here for the members.
When you need apparel, there's only one place to go. Big Frog in Novi. With no setup fees, no artwork fees, no minimum, and a 24-hour turnaround, you can have your whole team outfitted in no time. Embroidery, direct-to-garment, vinyl, and screen printing, Big Frog has it all in all the styles you want. So whether it's a sports team, fundraiser, school event, or corporate needs, Big Frog is your one-stop destination. Visit bigfrog.com/Novi or call 844-4-BIG-FROG.
3 NBA championships. Detroit fans were there. 11 Stanley Cups. Detroit fans were there. 4 World Series wins. Detroit fans were there. And that one Lions playoff win in 1991. Yeah, Detroit fans were there. Woodward Sports, where the fans are.
All summer long, the Monroe Street Midway is open in downtown Detroit. Enjoy basketball, roller skating, mini golf, art, live music, food trucks, and more. A fun, safe event for everyone between the ages of 1 and 100. Go to deckedoutdetroit.com for more info. That is deckedoutdetroit.com.
So many questions about this next story. By the way, if you are watching on Twitter and Facebook, we will end those feeds, move you exclusively over to our Woodward Sports YouTube channel. Find us there. Subscribe to Woodward Sports. Hit the like button as well. Helps YouTube push our content out to more people. Braylon, we had talked about this. We've talked about this for months, really, but it seems to be coming to a head now. The NFL has officially appealed the 6-game suspension to Deshaun Watson. They are seeking, the NFL, they are seeking a minimum 1-year suspension, a fine, and treatment for Deshaun Watson. What happens in the process now, the NFL Players Association has until tomorrow to respond to that.
Yeah.
What do you make, first of all, big picture, about this whole thing?
Right.
Down to the point of where we are now, the NFL clearly out for blood in the Deshaun Watson case.
Well, this is how I look at it. The NFL has seen their flaws in the past. They've seen the Ray Rice situation. They've seen other circumstances and situations and how they were treated and how people responded to the outcry that they don't believe in domestic violence. They don't believe in women's rights as it relates to sexual harassment. They never get the ball right. They don't care about the women. They don't care about the people that are collateral damage as they're making these, semi-non-existent rulings, a 2-game suspension, a 4-game suspension, laughable when damage of the physical/mental variety is done. With that being said, the NFL got ahead of the equation on this one. See, as opposed to what they usually do is, which Roger Goodell, the end-all be-all, he writes an opinion and he says, you know what, Deshaun Watson, a year, and there's outrage. Or you know what, Deshaun Watson, 8 months, and then there's outrage. And then Deshaun Watson and NFLPA. That's why I always said 6 games, they appeal and they come back. So then they appeal, and then they win the appeal. Tom Brady, and the list goes on of individuals that have won the appeal. So what they did was this time they said, hey, you know what? Let's bring in an arbitrator. Let's have her make the ruling. Let's see how it goes. Let's see what's said. And then Roger Goodell can come in and he can be the savior. See how it goes in the outrage and the outcry. So now they hired an arbitrator and had her arbitrate on rules that already were existing. We already know the rules that have been in place. They're arbitrating on the same rules that were in place when Ray Rice got in trouble in 2014 with the elevator situation in New Jersey. Now they come in, they appeal in front of Roger Goodell. Now Roger gives him a year. Now Roger looks like the savior. Now Roger Goodell looks like he cares about women's rights. Now he looks like he cares about those victims. He looks like he is progressing the needle forward. When that may be the case, but it's not exactly the full case. The full case is sponsorship. You know how many sponsors are involved with the NFL that have women CEOs or that respect the rights of women or that lobby on women causes? And you're not going to do anything. You're going to allow this guy who was accused of 26 different cases of some form of sexual harassment. You're going to allow this guy to not only play in your league, you're going to allow him to go to a team and have him be the biggest contract as all of this is pending. The largest contract in NFL history and all guaranteed money. And you're just going to let this ride? So now they come in and they look like the cats that care. But what they really care about is losing Coca-Cola and Pepsi and McDonald's and Burger King and Papa John's and Planet Fitness and whoever the hell else sponsors the NFL. So they come in at the 24th hour. They go against the arbitrator, and now they lobby. They tack on a full year, plus fines, plus treatment. So now the NFL looks like the guys that care. My biggest problem with all that, because we know that's what it is. The biggest problem is if you're going to be that way, okay, I get it. Like if we're saying that what Deshaun Watson did was some validity to it, then by all means, he's sick. And he does deserve this. And women do deserve this right. They do deserve to have themselves feel like they won in this case. But don't just stop at Deshaun Watson. Don't just stop at the players. Where was the appeal for what happened with Stephen Ross and his ruling? Because there definitely was proof of tampering. There was proof that they went after Tom Brady. There's proof of him asking him to tank games. And they said, oh, well, he didn't really mean it seriously. Man, give me a damn break. If you're going to be hard on Deshaun Watson and other players, I'm all for it because guess what? There's a rule book and you get what you deserve. But that needs to go for everybody. That individual in Washington, that individual down there in Miami,
You're stealing
it
the
needs
words.
to go for them too.
You're stealing everything I wanted to say too. And yesterday, Tony Kornheiser. No, it's fine. Tony Kornheiser, one of my favorite sports columnists, writers, TV personality. He said the only reason they went at Ross was to make sure that Deshaun Watson's story got buried. So that's his conspiracy theory, that the NFL, not only are they playing the nice guy, we're separating ourselves. We went through an arbitrator, first-time arbitration. Yeah. It's the first time ever going through this arbitrator. They never even had to do this. Goodell could have laid down the law right in the beginning, said, you know what, I don't care. We're suspending this guy. Now, he would have had to deal with the NFLPA. That's for sure. But that's the fight you want to fight. What they're doing now is, you can tell it's fake. It's fake.
So I'll separate the cases clearly because this sponsors and media and people, they're not outraged over the Stephen Ross situation. This Deshaun Watson outraged people. It outraged the sponsors. This light sentence really highlighted how minimal penalties have been in the past as it relates to domestic violence and sexual assault allegations. Because even the judge in this case said, look, he deserves more than this, but I am not setting precedent here. I am judging this 6-game suspension based on the parameters of suspensions in the past of similar type things. But we have not seen an instance like this before where 25 women filed lawsuits. 23 of the 24 have settled. One was dropped.
I get the not to cut you off. We haven't seen that. But we've seen women knocked out in elevators. We've seen chicks kicked
2 games.
We've seen chicks, disrespect. We've seen women being kicked on film in a
4
hotel,
games.
Kareem Hunt. So we've seen precedent in terms of the disrespect and the physicality in which someone could. We've seen it. It just sounds like more when you have bigger numbers.
I think my whole problem with the whole situation is if Roger Goodell, and Stick, you alluded to this, if Roger Goodell was so outraged by this and he really wanted a minimum full season, not 1 year, it's a minimum 1 year, and the fine and the treatment, why go through this whole song and dance of the arbitrator anyway? Is it just for the legalese of it so you don't have to fight the NFLPA? I mean, is that really all you're doing here?
It's to
because
distance yourself.
Yeah. I mean, you're trying to pass the buck down the road, because if you want to do this, because now you're in a situation where you're going to have to fight with the NFLPA again, because you're the one filing the grievance, and who now gets to rule on Deshaun Watson's sentence?
Supreme Court or court. It's the next level up.
Roger Goodell.
Right. Oh yeah, this is right. But what I'm saying is,
Roger Goodell will levy the penalty for Roger Goodell's appeal.
But Ryan, that's what I'm saying. They knew this from jump. That's why you bring in the arbitrator. It's to look like the hero. At the end of the day, if there was no outrage, if there wasn't a huge outrage, if the case died down by the time this happened, there wasn't outrage, then they could say, you know what, we don't have to appeal. Take the 6 games, boom, we move forward. But since there was one, they were looking for it. So, okay, how's the response going to be? All right, cool. We go with Plan B, which was that's why we use the arbitrator in any way. And so now we can come in and levy the penalty ourselves. Roger Goodell works for the owners. That's why the owners are never really in trouble. Because he's basically working for them. Hey, what do you want me to do with this whole Stephen Ross deal? Like,
that's what he does. He works for the owner.
Exactly. So
that's his job.
So people got to stop getting mad at Roger Goodell, to be honest.
Right.
You can either tell him he can step down at his job, but the job he's doing is he's doing it great. Right. Based on what he's being asked to do.
No, but the commissioner of the NFL is to work for the owners. You work for the 100%.
owners. 100%.
That's your job. So
Paul found wiggle room now.
What's that?
Paul Tagliabue found wiggle room. He worked for the players, man.
Yeah, he did, and that's why Paul Tagliabue is revered by 80% of the players that played in the league during his tenure.
It's just so interesting that this comes out the day after the whole the Stephen Ross deal, and then even in the findings said we found a huge amount of tampering. We saw.
I don't see the two as related though.
It's not about it. You said you don't see them related.
I don't see them related.
So,
sit there. Explain it to me next. I'm willing to listen. I'm willing to listen about this because maybe I'm missing something. I'm open to that. But first, a message from Guardian Alarm. Guardian Alarm, your local security experts have been for over 90 years. That black and yellow sign in front of your house tells the bad guys one thing. It says, stay out. Stay out! Whether you're home or on the road, their 24/7 local monitoring makes sure what is important to you is safe. Call that number above my head right now, 1-800-STAY-OUT. That number again, 1-800-STAY-OUT. Call them today. Tell them Woodward Sports sent you. More on Deshaun Watson. Story of the day in the NFL. We'll get to it next. Ermanni and Edwards, Woodward Sports Network.
He's going deep, right side. Oh, that is Edwards out there. He goes up in the air at the goal line.
Hey, it's Braylon Edwards here, wanting to welcome the sports marketing agency to Woodward Sports Network, to the family. Glad to have you guys. For the last decade, the sports marketing agency has literally leveraged athletes around issues such as mental health and substance abuse.
Glad that we can finally start trying to get the stigma off of mental health that's been there for all these years.
New to the game or a season better? OddsTrader.com has everything you need to make the right bet ahead of kickoff. Begin your handicapping journey with OddsTrader. Improve your edge by finding the best price on every game from sportsbooks in your backyard. Take advantage of the numerous sign-up bonus offers to pad your bankroll. Dive into key game statistics, player performance, and even account for the projected game day weather. Best of all, you can use the OddsTrader bet tracker to keep a log of your action. Welcome to OddsTrader, and best of luck.
We are the network for Detroit by Detroiters. Welcome to the Woodward Sports Network.
And so before we went to the commercial break, Ryan and I were having a discussion talking about the parallels between the Deshaun Watson situation and Stephen Ross, down the owner of the Miami Dolphins, if there are any parallels. What I will say to that, Ryan, is this. With Deshaun Watson, they use him as a pawn piece. Now, look, he put himself in that position. So let's start there. I'm not saying that he's innocent because the MF is not, okay? He put himself in this position. Now, but by him doing that, the NFL is now using him as a pawn piece where it was, all right, cool, let's just see what happens. And then if the arbitration doesn't go right, cool, then we'll come back as the White Knights. We'll be the White Knights. We'll lock on not a million years, a year. Then everybody's happy, everybody's pleased. The NFL is taking it serious. Now you move forward. Now the season starts. Bob's your uncle. But what they did with Deshaun Watson is now they're setting a precedent. Now they're setting it like, hey, look, this is what we feel on harassment of any kind, because it doesn't have to be male on female. Harassment of any kind. This is how we feel about domestic violence, if you will, like starting to set a precedent. A year plus fines is what we feel. All right, cool. You're setting the precedent so guys know future reference. I can't engage in that behavior, which you should know that anyway. But I can't engage in that behavior, nor should I. No precedent set right there, okay? Calvin Ridley bets on games while he's out. Now, once again, rules are in place. You can't bet on NFL games, right?
Nope.
I understand that. He should be penalized because he bet against games. I understand that. But they're setting a precedent because they just got in bed with sports books. I think last year was the first year, if I'm not mistaken. Last year was the first full year. So they set the precedent. You know what? Full year for you. Hey, I understand. I noticed it was $1,500 and you stand to lose. But you bet on we told you not to. They set a precedent. But with Stephen Ross, an owner that you know tampered with games, that you know there's other layers to the tampering. He asked Brian Flores to tank. He asked him, and then when they said, multiple people agree with that, oh, well, he was joking. You hired a black coach to fill the void of the Rooney Rule just to turn around and ask him, could he tank? And he felt so uncomfortable. He felt so uncomfortable that he wrote the information down. And then you asked me.
I got to stop you right there, though. I got to stop you right there. Let's have a discussion about this.
Okay.
Because if you are going to say that the investigation into Deshaun Watson turned up that there was no criminal activity, right? That's what the investigation revealed. You then have to apply the same thing to the Stephen Ross case and say, well, the investigation turned up that actually wasn't how it played out.
No, that's bullshit. Because at fuck that. Like at the end of the day, no, double down on that. That's BS. Because they legitimately told you in the argument. They said yes, we found multiple examples of tampering. We know.
Yes, tampering.
But then they also said we know, and there were people in the room that heard him say heard him say to an extent about tanking. But then they said, oh, it wasn't enough of an evidence of words for us to know. But it was enough for Brian Flores to write it down and take it to a lawsuit.
Okay, we're talking about two different things here.
We're not talking about two different things. What I was trying to get to before you cut me off was set a precedent.
I cut you off.
You did cut me off.
You've been talking for 40 freaking minutes.
All right, well, you know what? You don't want to tell me come back from commercial and finish my story. What I'm trying to say is you set precedent with Calvin Ridley. You set precedent with Deshaun Watson. Set precedent with Stephen Ross as well. That's all I'm saying. Set precedent with Dan Snyder up there in Washington. You don't want to go after the owners because the owners run the business and you work for them. So stop setting precedent with the players. Set precedents with everybody or nobody.
Yeah, Dan Snyder's immune to everything.
Dan
Snyder got investigated and John Gruden got fired because of it.
Who doesn't agree with that?
Right.
Who doesn't agree with that? How Dan Snyder's got a team.
And we haven't brought up the Texans. How are the Texans not involved in this at all? You're telling me you didn't know anything about this?
They filed a lawsuit against.
But we're talking about tampering, which I'll use cheating. Can we use cheating for tampering?
But it's levels to that. And I said this yesterday, if you listen. I said if you're just talking about the fine for tampering, it was more than fair. I said if we're just talking about tampering, the $1 million, the 2 draft picks, I said it's more than fair.
Right.
But there are levels under that, Ryan.
I understand, but those levels are this. Those of what you know and those are of what you can prove.
Right.
And the NFL and Brian Flores and the Miami Dolphins cannot actually prove that Stephen Ross intended exactly what he said. Even Stephen Ross admitted
you got to be kidding me with that.
Dude,
that's how you feel?
No. That's not how I feel. But what I do know is that any lawyer will tell you what's right what we know and what we can prove.
Well,
And those are completely different things. So I'm talking about the investigation into Deshaun Watson here.
So if that's the case, then what are we even talking about?
What I'm talking about this.
In that case, nothing matters then. He can say and does what he wants, and nobody will penalize him for it. Deshaun Watson, we don't even know if he did those things, but we're going to penalize him for it. And if he did do those things, then why just a year? Because if you're such a piece of shit like that, then why are you still in the league?
I am talking about a story of the day of the NFL going after Deshaun Watson, and you are going to Daniel Snyder and Stephen Ross, which is fine. I just don't understand the parallels there.
Because what I'm saying is that
rules is rules.
That's
pretty much what
I'm trying to understand.
They should apply to everybody.
The more I'm explaining, you're not listening, so the hell with it. I'm done.
Well, if you want to be done, that's fine. What I'm trying to tell you is in the court of public opinion, cheating is viewed differently as potential sexual assaults.
What I'm trying to tell you is that the way the rules are slated in the NFL, the way the rules are slated, he legitimately tampered on purpose.
Yes.
Got fined for that.
Yes.
We know he tanked. We know he tanked. We know he went to Brian Flores thinking Brian Flores was going to be a guy that said, you know what, sure, I'll take an extra $100,000. I'm happy to be a job. But Brian Flores wasn't. He wasn't. He had morals. He had ethics. And his morals and ethics said, this isn't right. Wrote it down and went there. So now it has other levels because now it's not just tampering. Now it's not just tanking. It's bringing a black coach in just so you can fire him and bring in Sean Payton.
But you saying that is equivalent of me saying, I know Deshaun Watson sexually assaulted those women. I know he did, all 25 of them, and I can't say that because I don't know.
Roger Goodell came out and said, I applaud Brian Flores for not taking the comment serious, which means everyone knows he said it. But they just think it was a joke.
I did not see that comment.
Well, do your homework.
I do my homework.
Obviously not.
If you can find that for me, I'll be more than happy to look at it. If you can find that for me, I'll be more than happy to look at it. I did not see that. I read the quote that said that Stephen Ross did not admit it, and I don't even care about Stephen Ross. I just don't know how cheating is seen as an equivalent to a potential sexual assault.
What I said was setting precedent. Set the precedent. If you want to set precedent for Deshaun Watson, I'm cool with that. If you want to set precedent with Calvin Ridley, you didn't mention when I said Calvin Ridley, that's different too, but they set a precedent in that matter.
I've been all up in arms about Calvin
So if you want to set a precedent here, then set a freaking precedent here as well. Doesn't matter what the differences of the crimes are, but just set a precedent.
I think the NFL Players Association is one of the worst players associations.
But that has nothing. What can the Players Association do when the power comes behind 32 owners that have pimped out the commissioner?
Don't play then. Play something else.
That sounds good if you're Russell Wilson, if you're Devontae Adams. But if you're Romeo Okwara, if you're the other Okwara brother, if you're you don't have the money not to play. You cannot afford not to play because who's going to pay you?
Right.
How you going to pay for electric and bills and cars and living and food?
I don't know.
That's why the NFLPA loses all the time because the top 1%, the guys that make all the money, they're the ones that always want to run back, and they're the guys that can withstand it.
The billionaires always win.
100%.
That's just the reality.
100%.
Whether you own a football team, whether you own 25 buildings downtown, whether you own anything.
Exactly. So don't tell me about the NFLPA when we know they'll never win against 32 billionaires that have pimped out the commission.
Well, the NFLPA is going to allow Roger Goodell to rule on Roger Goodell's appeal. So that is...
It's nothing they can do. They have all the power.
Well, it's a collective bargaining agreement.
It's a collective bargaining agreement which only 3% of the league can survive, not the other 97. It's not like the NBA where the NBA has the power because there's only, 13 players on the roster and they need to face. So they have all the power in the NBA.
And they're not guaranteed contracts.
Football is different because you can replace those guys. Fans don't care about guys. They care about the shield. So if a guy has a complaint, they be like, all right, cool. But next guy up is the NFL's motto.
I have a question.
What's up?
Why are we fighting? Are we fighting?
Hey, this is a debate. This is the debate. I still love you. I just don't like you right now.
I'm just sitting here enjoying the show today.
I just don't like you right now.
All right, good. Well, I don't like you right now either.
Well, good.
But guess what? Good. Football's back tonight, guys.
How about this? Fuck it.
Yes! There we go.
Flip it.
Good. Now we got that out the way.
All right. One more level to this. What should the Cleveland Browns do now?
That's a good one.
You have got to plan for the fact that Deshaun Watson is not going to be on the field this year.
Yeah.
They did that already.
Whether he is or I don't know if they did.
That's why they only paid him $1 million this year.
No. I don't care about the money. You've got a Super Bowl championship team.
Yeah.
You've got. What do you do now?
Do you potentially have a solution?
Yes.
Oh, I
have a solution.
Okay.
What they should do. We'll do it next. Ermanni and Edwards. But first, a message from Braylon and Gypsy Vodka.
That's what I'm talking about. See, all that energy.
We need to break it out.
All that energy, you think we were on Gypsy Vodka. Introducing the Mulligan by Gypsy Vodka. That's right. Adam and Mike, Michigan distillers, have got it right yet again. 8% alcohol seltzer. It is amazing. You can take it to the golf course or enjoy it at home, the comfort of your own backyard, while you're barbecuing some dogs and getting it right with some chicken. Oh, man, you got me excited about this weekend. Might smoke something this weekend. But check this out. Iced tea, lemonade, and mango are the flavors. Gypsy Vodka has presented the Mulligan. But if you're going to drink responsibly.
Detroit's downtown summer playground is back. Open all summer long, the Monroe Street Midway. Enjoy roller skating, free Wi-Fi, food trucks, art installations, and so much more. Don't forget to take advantage of the basketball court, putt-putt, and, of course, family programming all summer long. All art installations are done by Detroit artists, and it's a fun, safe event from people 1 to 100. Go to deckedoutdetroit.com.
You don't have to go to the beach, man. You don't have to get your butt crack full of sand. You just need a little chili peppers, man, to get that glowing beach chili peppers tan. Woo!
With 26 locations in the Metro Detroit area and more coming, Chili Peppers Tanning is where you'll find the cleanest salons in the D. Join the Pepper Club for the best deals on unlimited tanning. Head to chilipepperstanning.com.
You just need a little chili peppers, man.
Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app in the App Store and the Google Play Store today. Take Woodward Sports with you wherever you go and listen live on your phone or mobile device.
Kory Woods in the latest from Lions camp will join us 20 minutes from now, top of the hour. We'll do that. Hopefully everybody's having a nice, calm, peaceful afternoon.
Hey, they've gotten 2 F-bombs.
I mean,
hey, you know what? We almost apologized. We almost apologized.
Great.
We were just getting after. See, this is what you guys make it. This is why you got to come listen to it on Woodward Sportsman. All 4 of our shows, lightning in the bottle.
Right, exactly. So good stuff there. What should the Cleveland Browns do now? Because you've got to operate under the presumption that Deshaun Watson is not going to play for the remainder of the season. Whether he is or isn't is null and void for what the Browns should do. The Browns did get Jacoby Brissett in the offseason, and I think they believe that he could hold down the fort for sure.
Yeah.
A very capable backup. Do you turn over the keys to a Super Bowl contending team to him? That's a decision you have to make. Mike Tannenbaum on ESPN, your former general manager for the Jets, said on ESPN today, and it's pretty intriguing, I think. He said the Cleveland Browns should call up the San Francisco 49ers and not get off the phone until they make a deal for Jimmy Garoppolo. They have got to do that. And Dan Luss, just to add a different element here, Braylon, I know I'm throwing a lot out there.
Yeah, go ahead.
But Dan Luss, the sports attorney to the Stars that we have on our show quite a bit, he said that Roger Goodell has completely done a 180 on this Deshaun Watson situation, because he believes that the Cleveland Browns would have never offered Watson this contract of $250 million guaranteed if they believed that he would be out for the entire year. I know that's how the contract was structured, but they don't want to throw away an entire year. So they did not get a quarterback to play a full season. This was just for 4 to 6 games essentially. So what do you make of those 2 points?
Yeah, it's definitely a filler situation. You go back to it, and we've talked about it a couple times. Brother Ryan, it is my brother. I like you again.
My man.
I like
good. Because I love you, man.
This is my quarterback, man. No, but
hey, if you can't have spirited debate, what are you doing here, right?
What are you doing? It's all about the conversation, right? We're still at the table.
Right.
No, but you don't make a deal as a billionaire. As something like you get to $1 billion for a reason. You know what I'm saying? You get there by making, smart investments, smart deals. You vet all the information. You vet the sources. So you don't get to $1 billion. I don't care how goofy you are. You don't get there without being smart and having, whatever. So he doesn't just offer Deshaun Watson $230. Now, he offered him $230 in the guaranteed money because he was in the pigeonhole.
Right.
You need Deshaun Watson. Deshaun Watson's available. He's one of generational talent as a quarterback. But then you go ask Roger Goodell. You go do some private. You have the private investigators. What do you think about this? What's the worst that can happen with this? And what's going to happen in the criminal court? What's going to happen in the court of appeals? Where do we go here? Like, what's fair? Haslam asked that question to Goodell. Goodell asked all his private investigators and all the other attorneys. All the other owners in the NFL. Don't you think for 1 second the owners didn't meet on this as a collective to see what they would do as well? So with that, they'll say, cool, we're in the clear. We'll get 6-4. All right, we can get Jacoby Brissett for that. We can have him fill in. They weren't thinking a year. They weren't thinking that he would miss the whole year, which it seems like that's what's on the agenda tomorrow. So with that being said, you look at this roster, Donovan Peoples-Jones, Amari Cooper, David Bell, David Njoku, the offensive line that they have. On the flip side of the ball, Myles Garrett, Denzel Ward just got the biggest contract a DB has gotten. Then you have Jadeveon Clowney that's on the other side as well. I forgot to mention Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt. That's a funny name after this conversation. That is a team that is slated and set up to win a championship. They are ready to win. They are poised to win. Now, 2 years ago, they were in the playoffs. Couldn't get it done last year. They had some injuries that hampered them from making that push. They're ready now, and they're not trying to wait. I agree with him. You got to go get Jimmy G.
How do you do that, though? Because if you're Cleveland, you already gave your first-round picks to Houston in order to acquire Deshaun Watson. This whole thing for Cleveland could turn out to be a mess because, again, as a point of order, and we talk about it with Colin Kaepernick. Colin Kaepernick hadn't played in the NFL in 6 years, whatever. What would he look like if he had to come back? Well, Deshaun Watson, and I know he's great. I know he's, 24, 25 years old, and he's a top 5 quarterback in the league. You tell me what it looks like when you don't play for 2 full seasons.
Yeah, he's young, so let's start there. He's young. You're talking about a guy that's played at the quarterback level at a high level, not just a mobile quarterback. Because he's a quarterback that can run. He's not a mobile quarterback. He's not the guy that's going to run pass first. He's an elite passer. So he's been playing at that high level since 2015, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. So he's been playing at that high level for 6 years now. He missed 1 year last year. If he missed another year this year, he still would be able to operate that level. He'd be rusty like anybody else. I'm not giving him a pass. He's going to struggle through those first 2 games, 4 games, 6 games.
Won't take him long.
But it won't take him months like riding a bike. I give you an example. Michael Vick was never.
That's a great example.
He was never an elite passer, Ryan. He was not an elite passer. Now, could he spin that ball? He could spin it with the best of them. But he wasn't an elite passer in terms of going through his reads, his progressions, etc. He could run like crazy. He could throw like crazy. He was a great runner. He was an okay quarterback. You mix that together, he's a damn good quarterback. He went to prison. He was down for 2.5 years total.
That's a great example.
2.5 years. And you're talking about when you're older. Like when Mike Vick went in, I think he went in 2007. He got drafted in 2000. So you're talking about he was 29, 30, misses 2.5 years. So now he's 32, 33. When he comes back, he still played at a high level with the Philadelphia Eagles. Like that season that they had in 2010 is one of the best seasons I've seen the Eagles have. Him, Deshaun Watson, Jeremy Maclin, Shady McCoy. He operated at a Pro Bowl level, and you're talking about being in the league. So I think the fact that he was able to do it, Deshaun will be able to do it.
That's a great example. I did not consider Mike Vick when I asked the question. But about Jimmy G, you know who Jimmy G reminds me of?
Jared Goff?
Yeah, a college quarterback.
Right. He's in the league right now?
He's in college right now. Cade McNamara. Jimmy Garoppolo reminds me of Cade McNamara. All he does is win. It's not sexy, it's not flashy, but all he does is win. And he is always looked to be replaced by the fan base and really by the organization.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got Jimmy G replaced for Trey Lance. You've got Cade McNamara, who so many people want J.J. McCarthy to replace him.
True.
And why? Because isn't it the W that matters? I mean, Jimmy Garoppolo is, if you look at his record, it's ridiculous.
See, if we were playing in the era, Stick, correct me if I'm wrong. Let me see what you think on this. If Jimmy G would have played in the era like 1980 to 2012, maybe 2013. If he played anywhere in those 33 years, I think there's 33 years. If he played anywhere in those 33 years, he'd have been fine. He never would have left the team. Because he was a guy and he won enough games. He's not winning the big game, but he got you to the big game. He almost got you to the big game.
Yeah, he's Brad Johnson.
Exactly. He's keeping.
Is he?
He's
without the Super Bowl win.
He's keeping you around 11 wins a year, 12 wins a year. Well, back in the day, that's all that mattered. But now, everything is now. Like whether it's Instagram, whether it's people wanting money, whether it's people wanting jobs, whether it's people wanting championships, everything is now. And that's why everybody's working themselves around. Denver Broncos, you know what? Hey, we'll trade everything. Russell, get over here. We got to win now. Hey, Matt Stafford, can you come out to L.A. or can you come to Cabo? We want to win now. Hey, and the list goes on. Everything is now. So that's why everybody's like, you're okay, but you can't get it done. Jimmy...
Sorry, it's even like that with rookie quarterbacks too, right? You know, they used to draft a rookie quarterback and be like, all right, he's going to be our starter in 2 to 3 years down the road. Now it's like we drafted a rookie, he's starting day one, and you're seeing it.
Right. Mitch Trubisky
hurting.
He made it one Pro Bowl, took the Bears to 2 playoffs, and got the boot.
That's right.
And his offensive coordinator was horrible. And Matt Nagy, Nagy, head coach. So that's what I'm saying.
Raw deal.
Everything is now right now. Jimmy's just in the wrong era.
Yep. Wrong era for sure.
He's in the wrong era.
Hey, you mentioned Matthew Stafford. News on him today that I want to get to, and I am going to say something that I don't feel bad about, actually. And it's not a swear word. But first, a message from the Academy of Warren.
Academy of Warren is currently enrolling for kindergarten through 8th grade. It features AM and PM Latchkey, a Learning Street, a Futuristic Media Center, free breakfast and lunch, Houghton Mifflin curriculum, academic games, and K-8 athletics. Enroll today at academyofwarren.net. That is academyofwarren.net.
Hi, my diamonds. It's Crystal with an X. You want to get hot and perfect like me? Here's my super easy routine. Drink at least a gallon of water before you wake up. Attach a weight to everything in your house. Hello? Sell your car and just sprint everywhere. Scream when you exhale.
Don't follow Crystal with an X. Do your own thing at Planet Fitness with tons of equipment and free fitness training in our clean and spacious clubs. Join now for just $10 a month and cancel anytime.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side.
Lemieux and McCarty, who've had a good knockdown drag up. There they go, right on the whistle. They were talking to one another.
Woodward Sports.
Kory Woods, our Lions beat reporter, coming up in the next segment, top of the hour. Thanks for being with us.
Is Kory with us today?
Yeah, he's in studio today, I believe.
Oh, my man.
Thanks for making us part of your day. If you could go ahead and hit that like button, go ahead and subscribe to Woodward Sports. That would be swell. Okay, so news today. You mentioned Matthew Stafford.
I did.
And I did. It's amazing how things work. Wanted to get to this today, so we'll do it now. Matthew Stafford is going to be limited in camp.
Okay.
He is not expected to throw for the next couple of days. Tendinitis in his elbow. Nothing major. I do not want to make a big deal out of this. It says nothing major. But this is something they're going to monitor and keep an eye on. I'm so happy Matthew Stafford got his Super Bowl.
Yep.
Great year. I'm ready now.
Detroit Rams, baby.
Detroit Rams. I hated that, by the way, and I don't subscribe to the Detroit Rams. But I am cool if Matthew Stafford's elbow tendinitis keeps him out for the rest of the year. I am cool with that because, okay, you got your Stafford. Now it's time for us to get ours. I wouldn't mind for Stafford to be dealing with this all year long so the Lions get a better pick. Is that sacrilegious of me to say that I root for Matthew Stafford to have this injury linger throughout the year so he can't play this year?
So the way I'm gonna answer, the way I'm gonna approach that question is delicately, because I'm a player, so I always got to side on the players. So I'm not wishing anyone have to struggle through pain or whatever. Now that I've separated my former player self and the player side, now as an analyst, now as a guy that is buying into the Kool-Aid that the Detroit Lions are selling me and the community, and becoming a Detroit Lions fan, finally making my dad proud who played for the Lions, I agree with you on that. Like, the goal is to get a good pick. Like, you were hoping for a good pick. How can we get a good pick? Damn, now they got Bobby Wagner. How they bring in Alan Ball? Ugh, so much for that pick. That's going to be pick 31, pick 32, pick 30. A little tendonitis in the elbow, a little less chemistry. Alan Ball and him maybe not be able to work it out. You just never know. You know, all it takes is a little bit of a regret. They're in a tough division.
And again, I want to be clear here.
Yeah.
Save all the clown emojis.
Yeah.
I'm not rooting for a Alex Smith type leg injury. I am not ruling for his arm to fall off.
Yeah,
what I'm saying is, you got a little elbow tendonitis going to keep you out a month.
You know what?
I'm cool with that.
You know what you're really saying? I'm a clean it up for my brother.
I'm cool with that.
You know what? Take all the time you need to get healthy. That's what you're more so saying. No. Don't rush back with the tendonitis elbow. Don't rush back. We don't want you to come back right now. We want you to make sure you get the full range of motion, man. Take your time. And in the meantime, while you take your time, we hope those Rams take a bunch of L's.
So Cody Engel on here, wanting better picks is a loser mentality, and that's same old Lions. You're wrong. That is wrong.
Yeah.
I am not wishing the Lions lose for a better pick.
Exactly.
I am wishing that some other NFL team loses so the Lions can have a better pick. I think this guy, Cody over here,
he doesn't understand
the concept. I think the Lions are going to be pretty darn good this year. I think they're going to win 10, 11 games. I'm not saying they're going to. I wish them to lose. Are you kidding me? Is that a joke?
I see you snuck it from, it was 10, now it's 10, 11.
Well, I went through the schedule.
By the time the season starts, you're going to 13 wins, you're going to find somehow.
I went through the schedule and found an extra win. So we can do that next week.
Is it Dallas?
No, we can do that next week.
I think they're going to beat Dallas.
But I don't think it's same old Lions if you root against another team in the NFL that would benefit the Lions. Is that?
Comprehension is hard for some people.
Yes.
It's hard. Yeah. And that's okay. We're in this together, and we'll coach you through it. But yeah, no, you got to root against the Rams. I don't want the Rams to win again.
And
period.
Again,
I didn't want them to win last year.
Yeah.
I don't want them to win this year.
And again, even if Stafford does play, forget about the Stafford injury for a minute. Don't you root for them to lose? He already got his championship.
Yeah.
He already did it.
With a ton of support for you guys.
Exactly. And it was great. But now it becomes about the Lions.
Yeah.
Doesn't it? At some point it has to become about the team that you root for.
It's always about the Lions with me, and that's why I was rooting not for the Rams last year. Like the people that were, Detroit Rams, Detroit. I'm like, you realize every playoff game they win, our pick is getting worse.
Yeah.
Our asset is going diminishing. And when Stafford went on that little run, I believe mid-season, like 3 games of him throwing multiple interceptions, and they started to lose some games, I was like, it's happening, boys. They're not going to make the playoffs, and that would be great if we would have gotten the number 20 pick last year. But thank goodness we had Brad Holmes, who turned the 32, packaged it with another, moved up to 12, so it still worked out for us. But at the same time, I want the equity.
Ryan Lentz, our guy in the back, puts out that if Stafford is out for the season, will the Rams end up with a worse record than the Lions? Yes.
Ooh.
Who's their quarterback? Is it still Warford's their backup? Who is their
Jake
backup?
Warford? Is that Wofford?
Yeah.
Is that his name?
Yeah. Is he still their backup?
You talking about a team not preparing for the future?
I think so, because I don't know about their running back situation. Is Cam Akers fully healthy?
Cam Akers is good.
Yeah, he's going to be a problem this year.
I mean,
they replaced that Andrew Wentworth as well, like that left tackle that they got over there. He's
Allen Robinson looking good in camp.
Man, they look great.
I love the question, but I hate the question too, because it's nothing that you'll ever be able to prove. It's just an argument, right?
That
if Stafford's out for the entire year, would the Lions still finish with a worse record than the Rams. And I do think they would. I don't think the Rams win more than 8-9 games without Matt Stafford at quarterback.
I tell you what I'm interested to see about that Rams team this year is we were talking about yesterday, can the backers for the Detroit Lions defense be a major force? Can they be something new? Talking about Derek Barnes, as well as Anzarike, and then maybe even Malcolm Rodriguez. But, man, I'm interested to see what's going on with Bobby Wagner. Y'all know that's my guy. I was there in Seattle when he got drafted. I've just watched him over the years. He's great. I wanted him here. You guys know that. He's never played with a defensive line like he's about to play with now. Can you I got him picked. If he plays all 17 games, I can see Bobby Wagner having 200 tackles. Yeah. Like, I'm being honest. You have Aaron Donald in front of you, Leonard Floyd in front of you. You got freaking, I can't think of his name on the other side. It's going to hit me in a second. That defensive line is stagnant. And they're going to play at such a great level. All he has to do is run there and tackle people.
It's definitely going to be a great NFL season, and it starts tonight with the Hall of Fame game, the Jaguars and the Raiders. I will watch this game tonight because we're all football junkies, right? I mean, there's at least I'm not going to watch the whole game, but at least I'll watch the first quarter. And I know Trevor Lawrence isn't playing and Travis Etienne not playing. I don't know about
A'Shawn Robinson, that's what I was thinking.
A'Shawn Robinson, former Lion. I don't know about Derek Carr situation. I don't know if he's playing or Devontae Adams. But they might want some work against real live opponents. So we'll see what they have about that. Are you gonna watch?
I tune in. Yeah, I tune in for a second, turn on. I mean, it's the NFL. Like, it's nothing like seeing the logo, seeing the shield, seeing the team, seeing the helmet. So it'll be fun to turn on. Just breeze through it. It's always interesting to see the guys that, like the guys that are trying to make the team or the guys that are trying to make their mark. Man, that's always fun for me to watch. I think it's fun for everybody. I remember to this day, we were playing, this was preseason. I was playing for the Jets. It was Giants and Jets. And it was game 2, but Rex wanted to treat game 2 like our game 3 because he wanted our vets to rest games 3 and 4. So we played game 2, and we played all the way until halfway through the third.
Really?
So we played like a damn near full game. And that's where I discovered an individual for the Giants where I was like, wait. Who's this guy?
Who was it?
It was Victor Cruz doing that Victor Cruz shuffle. Victor Cruz.
Look at you in the shuffle.
If I stood up, then,
I kind of felt it now that you did it.
I stood up, but, man, you talking about a guy. I'm watching him. Man. It didn't matter what side he's going. Keep in mind that Jets team that year. We had Antonio Cromartie on one side. We had Darrell Reeves on the other side. We had Reeves Island and Crow Island, or the Crow's Nest. That's what they used to call it. Crow's Nest, Reeves Island. Didn't matter because guess what? Victor Cruz had 4 catches for 212 yards and 3 touchdowns. So that's why I like watching the preseason, because you can find these hidden gems, and he darn sure was a hidden gem.
No doubt. Also, tonight at halftime, our guy Michael Banks, he is the Hall of Fame Lions fan.
Oh, yeah.
He'll be honored tonight. He went into the Ford Hall of Fame, so he gets honored tonight as part of the Hall of Fame game ceremony. So
I wonder what he mentioned the Lions.
Pretty cool. He actually texted me. He said, "I will be ready for the follow-up interview when you are ready to say thank you to everyone."
That was a little Calvin Johnson Hall of Fame joke. I said, I wonder if he's going to mention the Lions.
Absolutely, no doubt about it. All right, guys, we're going to take a break. Come right back. When we do, the great Kory Woods is going to join us, give us an update on everything happening out there with the Detroit Lions, and see if his day was any sadder not having a Dan Campbell press conference involved. Too. We'll have it next. But
hey,
first,
Ryan, you and your sadness about your Dan Campbell.
Yeah.
I got a place you might want to go to.
Oh,
that's right.
Is it SMA?
The Sports Marketing Agency. They help spread awareness about mental health and substance abuse. Their new podcast, This is F Word, helps spread awareness about addiction as well as abuse. Everybody knows somebody that is struggling. That somebody could be you, whether it's addiction or whether it's mental health, whether you have anxiety, depression, whether you don't know what's going on. Well, we're here to have the conversation. Sean Jordan, an NFL alumni of Detroit, they do an amazing job having the conversation, providing you with information. Information is king in this world, ladies and gentlemen. Never forget that. Go to thesportsma.com, thesportsma.com.
Life is full of hard choices. We're here to make one of life's biggest decisions as simple as possible. My name is Christina Gennari, and for over 20 years, I've helped hundreds of families buy and sell homes. We cover all of Metro Detroit and more. From large luxury homes to starter homes, We will work hard to make sure that you get the home of your dreams. So if you're in the market today or even thinking about buying or selling in the future, make the obvious choice. Christina Gennari, the obvious choice in real estate. Visit us at soldchristina.com today.
Fellas, let's be honest. We like things to be easy. We like simple stuff, like sports 7 days a week. We like things uncomplicated, like Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Sign in, sit down, watch your favorite team play, and before you know it, your hair will be game ready. Open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
The only sports network in Detroit that starts with a W. You know, because we win. Woodward Sports, Detroit's winning sports network.
Get a free Woodward Sports t-shirt.
Ribbit.
That's right, a free Woodward Sports t-shirt all month long at Big Frog in Novi. Just stop in, tell them we sent you, and they will print you one on the spot. So go to Big Frog Novi today and get your free t-shirt, or visit them online at bigfrog.com/Novi. That is bigfrog.com/Novi.
Woodward Sports Network, Ryan Ermanni, Braylon Edwards, thank you. If you are watching on YouTube or however you're consuming Woodward Sports Network, Detroit's all-digital network,
yes, sir.
Go ahead and hit that like button for us. Let's see if we can get to over 100 likes while Kory is in the house. How about that? Kory Woods, our Lions beat reporter. Kory E. Woods on Twitter. Kory, my friend, how are you, buddy?
Can't complain. How you guys doing?
Doing real fine. Kory, Lions today. No Dan Campbell presser. How did we start the day? I mean, how in the world did we?
This guy was over here crying.
Forward?
We went straight to the field. I mean, I got there at the same normal time that I normally do, but I mean, Dan Campbell talking. We went to the field and they got right after it.
All right, paint a picture for me. What was today like? What were some of the observations today?
So they went back to pass today. Okay. Today was a longer practice, and today's practice was a lot more intense. I actually jotted down a couple of notes. So from the passing drills, Amon-Ra St. Brown and Khalif Raymond, they both had great days. I mean, St. Brown was catching everything that came his way. Khalif, he caught a couple of circus catches. He caught one acrobatic catch on the sideline over Will Harris that drew a lot of applause. Yep. Also, too, I want to stick on these passing drills. Trinity Benson just caught a beautiful ball. I want to say it was from Blau. I could be wrong. Either Blau or
TB12?
Golf.
Oh,
and
okay.
The one thing that I love the most is that all of the receivers, they all rushed the field to go celebrate him because it was a damn good catch. Right. The guy who was out there, who rushed out there the fastest with the ball in his hand and still at the play sheet, Jameson Williams.
I know you guys.
That's awesome.
I observed his behavior throughout the entire week because you remember when they first drafted him, they said, "Oh my God, this guy doesn't want to be a Lion." They caught one look at him and didn't look at anything else from that besides that one look. His entire time I've seen him at training camp, he is active, he is engaged as much as possible. He's smiling, he looks happy to be there. Every time that something big happened on the field today with the receivers, he rushed out there and joined in, bigging guys up. It was really good to see. During the blocking drills, the one-on-ones with the running backs, it was really intense. Jamar Jefferson and Godwin, they got in. They got real physical. Yeah. And not in the fighting aspect, but they got real physical until well after the whistle. They slapped each other, but like, hey, good job, everything like that. Throughout the practice, of course, I don't know if you guys already heard that there was a fight, well, little scuffle, I should say.
Little scuffle
between Skipper and Austin Bryant. Stenberg joined in on a little fray too, throwing the helmet. And shortly after that, St. Brown and Ermanni, they got into a little small scuffle. But today was a really intense practice. They turned up the volume a bit. And I want to go one more thing. They had the referees out there during the they had the referees out there during the red zone drills, and I guess Deuce Staley.
Did he come in the game?
No, Deuce Staley, Ben Johnson, and Antoine Randall, they were not happy about the lack of a call. I I'm not supposed to say what they said verbally.
All right.
But they voiced their frustration on the referees missing a call. I'll say that much.
No, well, I try to unpack some of the stuff you said. You know, that's good to see for Jameson Williams. Talk about him running and being on the field. Because when I got injured in my rookie year, and I had to come back that second year. So it was a different year. But at the same time, it's just tough to be engaged. Like, I'm a guy. I got ADD, man. Like, I can only hold on.
You and me both.
I can only hold on for so long. Like, just watching plays and reading sheet lists, and coaches quizzing me as plays and practices are going on. And so, like, to see him engaged, to see him like that right now, but that means a lot. That means he's here. That means he's thinking about it. That means he's here for a long while. So that's good to hear. I want to ask you about a guy that we acquired recently, and that's running back Justin Jackson. We acquired him from Los Angeles. He's a guy that I was high on at Northwestern. He's a guy that he finished over 5,000 yards at Northwestern, 51 touchdowns and stuff. But he also was a guy, he saw a significant playing time with the Chargers and did well. He's a guy, I want to say up was a 400 rushing yards, almost 200 yards receiving. Is this a guy that can challenge and be a third back for the Detroit Lions? And is it a situation where he can wiggle his way into Jamal Williams' spot?
I'm not sure. I have to see more. I have to see more. But right now, if you're talking about that running that third slot, I still think that is like Craig Netflix Reynolds spot to lose. If you ask me, I mean even Jamar Jefferson has been looking pretty decent out there as well. So it's possible. But I mean I think that he has some stiff competition in front of him.
Another quick question: a name I haven't heard from since I think he messed up his groin or had a groin injury or strain. Devin Funchess. Do we know anything that's going on with Devin Funchess? Because he's a guy that, like I was talking about, I see a spot for him, but he's got to stay healthy. That's been his Achilles heel since he's been in the league.
I believe he's been out there. But again, the chatter on him possibly making the team has been quiet. I think we're gonna, as they have another practice tomorrow, practice at Ford Field. I think as time goes on, he'll definitely have that chance to make the team. But also too, you gotta look at it like this. They're starting to ramp up James Mitchell as well. Right. And I spoke with him after practice the other day. He was non-committal on if he would be available for week 1. Then the next day he started getting more reps in on the 7-on-7. So I mean, if James Mitchell is ready to go, then Funchess has some competition ahead of him because remember they brought him in as a tight end.
100%.
Kory, you mentioned the wide receivers and how good so many of those guys look today and throughout camp. Really, if 6 wide receivers make typically an NFL team, you go DJ Chark, Jameson Williams, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Josh Reynolds, Quintez Cephas, Khalif Raymond. There's your 6. Is anybody that is on this roster outside of those 6 players, could they surprise and earn one of those spots?
I mean,
Trinity Benson.
Trinity Benson.
I mean, we laugh, but
Trinity Benson had a good showing. But this isn't like last year when they were coming into camp where some of those
they needed
they needed a playmaker. Those 6 guys you just named, even with Cephas going down with the injury, it's really those 6 guys I think would have to fall off a drastic cliff to not be considered those top 6.
I agree with that. I just you're out there every day. Maybe there's somebody popping off the page at you.
I think with Jameson, probably not going to be available until after the bye week. I mean, Trinity might be able to avoid going to the practice squad or something like that. So you'd be able to keep him. But I mean, it's definitely those 6 you named.
2 quick questions. You've obviously been out there every day. You've seen them in pads, without pads. You've seen them serious. You've seen them chill. And you've watched them interact.
Yeah.
That's safe to say. Who's emerged as offensive and defensive captains? And with the exception of Goff, like give me somebody else on that offense that has emerged or showed some leadership capabilities. And then on defense, whoever you believe that to be. And then I want to ask a question about Gerard Davis after that.
Well, I mean, I think if you're going to go outside of Goff, I mean, I would say Frank Ragnar has to be a shoe-in to be a captain spot. I mean, Pro Bowl center, he's very a vital piece of that line. If you want to talk about one of the skilled positions, you could probably, I don't know if they would vote him in as a captain coming in already, but Chark look like he's showing some leadership out there. St. Brown as well. Okay. On the defensive side, probably going to be Alex Anzalone again, maybe a Michael Brockers. You got Tracy Walker who could come in there. I mean, I think Tracy Walker easily could be a defensive captain just off of being one of the elder statesmen on the team. So which is kind of crazy to say because he's so young.
Yeah.
So That's what I would say on the defensive side of the ball.
And then about Gerard Davis, obviously he was here, drafted here in 2017. It didn't work out. Played out of position, if you want to be honest. Goes to New York. New York says a bunch of good things about him. It says he just got injured. It says he got injured and he got COVID and he couldn't get on the field. But New York Jets were high on him. What have you seen out of him so far in camp, whatever role he's been in? Haven't seen him, huh? Where you at, though?
If you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at
You
all.
know what? That's enough. And that is enough.
A couple of things I want to hit. Sit tight there. You mentioned Tracy Walker. I wanted to ask you, we're going to take a break. I want to ask you, though, article on SI.com talking about Tracy Walker taking less money to stay with the Lions. What significance to the Lions organization does that have for Tracy Walker? Also, any news regarding Josh Pasco? We'll go back to that. We'll hit you next. But first, a message from the Foaling Warehouse.
The Foaling Warehouse in Hamtramck is the home of the original football bowling game. There are two ways to play: $12 unlimited open play or $120 lane reservation for up to 10 people. You also got the $2 mystery beer machine and full bar. Come check it out at FoalingWarehouse.com. Again, that is FoalingWarehouse.com.
It's a great day to get some Centron in your life. Okay. There it is. Centron, here we go. Gotta grab the cranberry. Oh wait, it's 2 for $4. Gotta double up with the classic as well. Centron World, baby. Centron, available at select Krogers, and if you wanna know how, go to @CentronWorld.com. You get dope like me. You know what? Why wait? Great taste, guaranteed.
Ciabattas, summer salads, and dip shakes. All at Big Boy. Try a chicken club, chicken cordon bleu, or sunrise ham and cheddar. All on our grilled ciabatta bread. Or keep it light with our Michigan apple, chicken Caesar, or Greek salad. And don't forget to cool off with a frosty hand-dipped cookies and cream or strawberry shake. You heard it here first. Summer just got better.
Get a shot up. This is for the win. All of Detroit's sports teams live on Woodward. All of Detroit's sports coverage lives on Woodward Sports. Driving the best in Detroit sports coverage.
Planet Fitness is inviting all high school teens between the ages of 14 and 19 to work out for free all summer long. Free via the high school summer pass, and it goes all the way till August 31st. Planet Fitness is home of the judgment-free zone where you can work out in a non-intimidating, judgment-free atmosphere with membership starting at only $10 a month, or you can get the black card for $24.99 per month. Join today in club or online at planetfitness.com. Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential.
Essential. Kory Woods back with us, Lions beat reporter, Woodward Sports Network, on Twitter at Kory E. Woods. Kory with a K. Kory, Tracy Walker yesterday at the podium talked about how he was offered more money by other NFL teams, but decided to stay here, quote unquote, home in Detroit. Sports Illustrated wrote about that. What do you make of a guy like Tracy Walker wanting to come back here to Detroit and the impact he can have on this defense and this organization?
I think it says a lot about his character, but I think it says even more about the culture that Dan Campbell, Brad Holmes, Sheila Hamp, and that entire organization is trying to create. Tracy Walker is not a bad player. He's pretty damn good. He could have went elsewhere. He could have made more money. He could have done something better to better his family. What he chose to do is he bought into the Lions culture that they're building right now, and he wants to be a part of it. He sees his potential of being a leader on this defense as opposed to going somewhere else and being just another player. I think that you have to take stock into that. You got to think this guy was around the dark days of Patricia. For him to could decide to stay here with better offers on the table, that means that, in my opinion, you gotta, as a fan, as somebody that's observing the team, you have to give the Lions a thumbs up on that, because they were able to keep one of their guys despite have it coming off of the season they did.
Not only the Lions, but Bray, too, and weigh in on this. I mean, as a lifelong Detroiter, you've lived all over, too, but at the same time, you know what we like here in Detroit.
Yeah.
We like it when people love us.
Yeah,
when
true.
our players love us, it goes a long way. When Tracy Walker is saying, I want to be here. This is where I want to be. Go get your 21 jerseys, folks.
Yeah, it's 100%. You know, a lot of guys out there, a lot of people in the comments talking about drinking the Kool-Aid and online, and I get it.
Fine.
100%, I get it. I understand it. I understand exactly what you're talking about. But it's one thing to buy into a Kool-Aid in terms of, some good players. This is going to be another team. The same rhetoric. There's different when you see different things. Like, listen to your ears. Look with your eyes. You got guys that are staying here. In Detroit. Let me lift my hat up so you can see my eyes. You have players that are staying here. Detroit. You got players wanting to come back early in the offseason. You do realize it's still snowing in Detroit in February. It's still snowing in March in Detroit, in Allen Park. It's the same place, and they're coming back early. Guys are working out together. Like, I had a friend of mine that was a safety. I won't say his name, but it was the New York Jets. If you figure it out, you figure it out. It's on you. They asked him to take less money on his deal in the 2010 season. He said no. He absolutely would. He took less money. He didn't take less money. He took more money. He went out to another team. They didn't make the playoffs, and once again, we were back in the AFC Championships. But sometimes with that, it's about knowing the fit, it's about knowing the city, and it's about knowing what you're building. So what Tracy Walker is essentially telling us, Kory and Ryan, he's telling us, I like the guys I'm playing next to. I like what the head coach is representing. I like what the head coach is showing me as well as telling me. And I like what I'm building here in terms of identity. I want to come to you this one, Kory. I want to come to you with this one. Guys like Tracy Walker doing this. You saw the cohesiveness of the guys in the offseason, the guys kicking and chilling, the way that they're vibing. Like, you can't tell me you don't see that
Eric
on
Coleman?
the football field right now. Actually, you're over there trying to guess. You know who it is. One of my best friends. Eric played the year before I got there. Eric left and went to the Falcons, I believe.
Got it.
You got it now.
All right.
Initials KR.
Yeah.
So, but tell me what you've seen as it relates to Tracy Walker coming back and the interaction with just the players and their vibe that they're on. How does that look live and in person? Not just playing, but just the vibe you see.
The vibe is like they're one big family.
Yes.
I mean, they're out there getting after it. They're out there competing with each other because outside of a few guys, nobody's really like there are some guys that are not necessarily locked into their roles. So it's competition out there. And you love to see it. You see more of iron sharpening iron. I mean, throughout the past couple of days, it's been pretty intense. This is the first fight. So, I mean, I guess that's
what Dan Campbell do? Does Dan Campbell like that or no?
Does
He
he
doesn't
referee?
like that.
You know what? I saw more of the players breaking it up. I didn't see Dan Campbell getting in the mix of everything, but I don't know how true it was. I heard Sheila Hemp may have been near the scuffle. So who knows?
What?
I don't
She
know
was
how
there?
she was. You know what? She's been on the
How
field.
many practices has she been to?
Every.
She was there for a
Everyone.
long. Yeah, she's been there for a long time. Even when Martha was in charge, she was there at every one.
That's how you win.
Yeah.
That's how you win.
Mm-hmm.
I never saw Randy Lerner in Cleveland.
Really?
Like, I saw him on game day. Like, he showed up on game day.
Mm-hmm.
That's not hard to do.
Yeah.
You got Gulfstream 6 or Gulfstream 7. It's G7 jet. You got that. But Woody Johnson, and I'm not saying he's a good owner. I'm not saying that. But you saw Woody every day.
You'll see a combination of Sheila, Rod Wood, or Brad Holmes out there every day at any given time.
Yeah.
They're visible.
That's how you win.
All right, Kory, I have to do my daily Josh Paschal milk carton
missing.
Yeah, missing in action.
Have you seen this man?
Have you seen Josh Paschal? Have you laid eyes on the Lions' second-round pick?
I haven't locked eyes on him. I know that Cephas, of course, did not practice today. Levi Onwuzurike, he was not there. At first, I didn't see Cephas, but I later saw him. I saw him emerge later on. He had on his hoodie and whatnot, so it was hard to see him. If Pascal was there, I didn't see him.
And there's no talk about anything today because obviously Dan Campbell wasn't available today.
There was no media availability today, so it was no opportunity to ask about his health. But I will have an answer for you tomorrow.
Can you ask him tomorrow at the press
I'm
conference?
definitely going to ask.
Say, I am getting a lot of pressure from the 2 p.m. What are the co-hosts there at Woodward Sports? Where is Josh Pascal? And again, if he's injured, he's injured. Yeah. That's fine. But because the press conference, and we reference this, Dan Campbell said, he had core muscle surgery or sports hernia surgery, but that's not why he's not practicing. I'd love to know why he's not practicing.
Word on the street is he's downtown at the district with Eduardo Rodriguez having.
Well, we don't know about that either. We don't know about that.
He's having a drink
either. Is there any talk, the anticipation about the Hard Knocks? Do the players talk about it?
DJ Chark said something about it when a couple of days ago. He just pretty much said that the players really don't even care about the cameras being there. Nobody's they know they're there, but they're not caring about them being there. Nobody is trying to get seen or anything like that. I think they're just like whatever. Nobody's bringing up Hard Knocks other than other media companies talking about Hard Knocks being there. Those guys are not really vocalizing any thoughts about it.
I'm very much looking forward to that show.
I will say this: the cameras were out there for that scuffle, so I think that might make the cut.
What happens is nobody's thinking about Hard Knocks, and the cameras, they get old. Like the cameras, you can go out there and you get old, and even you've seen them, and now they're second nature. But after the first episode, where players see themselves, or you see your boy was in it, or you see your boy made it,
they want to be in it.
Yeah, you see the features. That's when you start to see cats change, and you start seeing cats kind of like following the camera around. They try to do stuff around the camera, or they get cool with some of the guys doing the producing, like, hey, we about to do one-on-ones. Come check us out. That's when you'll see people start to care. Is once the first episode comes out.
Talk about a guy that's got some experience there. Hey, Kory, not that you were an alarmist, but you were a realist when it came to the backup quarterback situation. Now that they had another spirited, padded practice today, are we still alarmed at the lack of backup quarterback situation on this team?
Well, I'll say this much. If the Lions are going to be going into the season with a very damn good line. So, and Jared Goff has been, outside of getting,
So they still suck.
Jared Goff should be fine as long as they go ahead and keep him clean from getting injured. He's a pretty durable guy, but Tim Boyle has looked better as practices have went on. Like I said, compared to last year, I believe that he is the most comfortable that he's ever been. When I look at David Blau, I've been very critical of him, since OTAs up to now. Today, I would say was one of his best showings. He's threw some balls that did not look too great, but he also threw a couple of good ones as well, especially in those red zone drills. So I would say that he looked better. You hope they're going to be never in a position where Boyle or Blau even have to touch the field, but at least in Boyle's case, he looks better than he did last year. That's as much as I can say. I believe next week with the first preseason game, of course we're going to see a lot of time. I'll see a lot of him, maybe see a lot of Blau get in action. So then we'll be able to kind of see, okay, what from those first couple of weeks of training camp, where I said that he looked more comfortable, if that translates on the field to competition.
I am interested to see Dave Blau this year, and just from this standpoint, one, he's our backup quarterback. We don't have another backup quarterback.
Boyle.
We're not, like I said, we don't have another backup quarterback. We're not going to get another backup quarterback. Blau is our quarterback, right? I like Blau at Purdue. Like, I thought it was a good battle between he and Elijah Sindelar. Like, he and Elijah Sindelar. They went back and forth. Blau's the guy they chose ultimately kind of be that guy. He showed promise in college. And I know it's Purdue and I know it's college. I want to see the leap that he makes this year because they like Blau. They're high on Blau. They showed Blau a lot last year, obviously with his wife in the Olympics as well. I want to see the next step for him. I want to see how he looks in preseason this year.
I will say this, and I thought about it. I think the reason that the Lions did not go draft the QB or go out and try to go get a viable backup is they're more so in the fence of either Goff is going to stay healthy and he's going to do his thing.
Your lips to God's
or
ears.
if he gets injured, then, hey, whatever happens, happens.
Your lips to God's ears.
There
Kory
it is.
Woods, we love you. Exclusive content, Woodward Sports Network, at Kory E. Woods, all the Woodward Sports social channels. Kory, we will check back in with you again tomorrow. And I will once again ask about Josh Paschal.
And I will have an answer this time.
Yeah, you might not have the answer we want, but you'll have an answer.
I said I have an answer.
All you can do is ask the question.
Allergy check. You got the Zyrtec D with you? You got it on you?
I'm good today.
Okay.
I will say this though. Come the end of August, it's gonna get real bad for me.
100%.
Do you take like Allegra D or anything like that?
No, I take Zyrtec.
Zyrtec D.
Zyrtec D because Allegra, Claritin does nothing for me.
You got to go behind the counter and you got to give them your license and you got to say, I need the D.
Yeah, I take Zyrtec D. Like especially like golfing. Like I'm allergic to one of the things that you shouldn't be allergic to if you golf in Michigan.
Grass.
Well, that's number one. Number two is pine trees.
Pine trees.
And just so we're clear, Ermanni, I have to say I need Zyrtec D. I cannot say I need the D. That is something totally different where I'm coming from.
Woodward Sports Network. Good stuff.
Agreed.
Thanks, Kory. Appreciate that, my friend. Braylon, top 10 wide receivers in the NFL.
Okay.
What does Jameson Williams have to do to get into that list? I want you to bring it back to the Lions and reveal that list next. But first, a message from Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac. Want a car? Want one today? They've got them on the lot for you at Les Stanford Chevrolet. How about that? I just made that up on the fly.
That.
There you go. Head on over there because we all know that new cars are hard to come by, but they are coming in at Les Stanford. Allocation coming in for lease or purchase of new vehicles, but you got to make a plan. Head on out there today. They have over 300 pre-owned cars on their lot right now. All makes, all models, all years. Some with less than 500 miles on it too. Get over there today in Dearborn on Michigan Avenue. LesStanford.com. LesStanford.com.
Find new roads.
Find them.
At work and at home, we're there with smarter security solutions. Featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
Hey, it's Scott from the Woodward Bet Show. Finally, it's football time. Listen, we're fired up about it. We're going to talk about it at 4:30 of the Woodward Bets YouTube page. Hey, listen, you also got to get over to that app store and download oddstrader.com. It's got live scoring, play-by-play updates, and the best place to check all the odds at the sports books right in the palm of your hand. But hey, it's football day. Hall of Fame game tonight. Listen, if you're going to bet the preseason, just bet the under. That's all I'm looking at. oddstrader.com. Woodward Bets. Check it out.
You have an opinion? Make sure it's seen and heard. Corner, jumper, tweet us, hop on the YouTube chat, slide in the DMS at Woodward Sports on all social media.
At Alta. Uptime matters.
Yes, it
Alta
does.
Equipment has everything you need to get the job done. Have a big project coming up? Alta Rent has you covered. Call them today at 844-GO-TO-ALTA. That's 844-GO-TO-ALTA.
All right, Ryan Ermanni, Braylon Edwards, and the great stick, Sam Day, in Braylon's seat now because we're going to do something fun. We're going to talk Michigan State. We'll do it in the next segment. But Braylon, it is Top 10 Thursday.
Yeah, new segment, baby.
Top 10 Thursday. Braylon, what do we have today?
Top 10 Thursday. With your boy Be Easy. Yo, Top 10 Thursday this week. Top 10 wide receivers as they currently stand in my mind going into this 2022 NFL season. Fletch, my man, who put together an amazing graph. And here it is. Coming in at number 10, Deebo Samuel just got paid. I feel like this 1,405 yard, 1,450 last year was amazing running the ball as well. Want to see what he does in the next year, but yards after catch, you cannot deny this guy. He's there. Keenan Allen, to me, the most underrated wide receiver in the NFL at number 9. Every year, he gives you 100 catches. Every year, he catches everything, runs great routes. Can't stay healthy. Can't stay healthy. That's why I can't advance with Mike Evans. 9 years in NFL, 9,000-yard season. He's the only wide receiver to ever do that.
That shocked me when I saw him at that spot on your list. I was like, Mike Evans, you told me that. I didn't know that stat about
the stats
and we got to point out how many quarterbacks has it taken to do that, too.
Oh, man, Jameis Williams, Tom Brady had one before Jameis Williams.
Yep.
Not to mention, last time you remember this guy, what was he doing? He was going by Jalen Ramsey for a touchdown in the NFC Championship that put them ahead, almost with a chance to win. So got to have him there. DeAndre Hopkins. Now, DeAndre's been floating around 1 to 3 for the last 4 years, but he's gone downwards a little bit on the decline. He was injured last year. He'll miss 6 games this year with PED, so got to bring him down the list. He still has the best hands in the NFL, but you got to drop him down the list. Some people are going to be shocked at who's number 6. It's Cooper Kupp. Best wide receiver season from top to bottom last year from a wide receiver in the history of the NFL. Led the league, Triple Crown winner, first Triple Crown winner since Steve Smith Sr. I do believe so. Super Bowl MVP, but I don't have him in the top 5. That was his first year with that level of success. I want to see what he does this year. You had injuries last year. Robert Woods gets hurt. Odell Beckham comes in and has to figure the season out. So all the passes were going to Cooper Kupp. Easy to catch that many passes when you're doing that, but he is damn good. Tyreek Hill, number 5. Pillar of consistency, speedy, but going to be interesting to see how he is in a new offense. You got a new quarterback, Tua, which a lot of people don't believe in. I myself...
Did you see Tua's quote?
I myself believe he's going to be the most improved player, and he'll make the Pro Bowl, and they'll make the playoffs.
They asked him why that video of him making that pass to Tyreek Hill was so viral.
Oh, yeah.
And he's like, because people don't believe I can throw the football.
Oh, yeah, but very little guy. He takes it serious. Tyreek Hill. So want to see what he does in that Miami offense, McDonald's offense. Wants to see what he does. But Tyreek is his speed. You can't deny it. Number 4, Stephon Diggs. You talk about being a damn good receiver. You talk about being able to do it all, being able to do it in any system. He left Minnesota where he was electric. You remember the Minnesota Miracle Man. And I'm not talking about Gordon Bombay. I'm talking about my man, Stephon Diggs, with the catch to beat the Saints in First National Stadium, or where the hell they play at. Now he's in Buffalo. He's doing the same thing. Every year he's averaging 1,500 yards. He's averaging 10 touchdowns. He does it every year, so I got to have him at 4. Justin Jefferson broke the rookie record, 1,410 yards. Guess what he did last year? 1,600 yards. He broke that by 200 yards. So this guy is on the up and up, and he does it. Last year, no Adam Thielen, no problem. He still was able to get his routes off, get his catches in. The man is a genius with the route run. Number 1B. Notice this doesn't say 2, fam. Notice this does not say 2. This says 1B. I do not subscribe to the rhetoric that a guy has to do it over and over and over and over. When you know, you know. And what I saw from Jamar Chase last year lets me know that he is the one. He can do it on a 6 foot. We talked about it yesterday. He's only 6 foot. 200, but he plays like he's 6'4". When you watch him run routes, he runs them violently. He can run by you. You saw him at the next level, the next stage, the playoffs. Look what he did to the Chiefs. Look what they did in the Super Bowl. He was open on Ramsey every play. And this is the guy that we donned the best defensive back in the game. So Jamar Chase, who broke his best friend Justin Jefferson's record. Oh, but by the way, they asked Joe Cool who was the best wide receiver between these two. If Joe Cool says Jamar Chase, who am I to argue the man that knows him better than anybody? And the number 1A, it's Devontae Adams. What he's done over the last 5 years is insane. But it's going to be interesting to see, can he do it with Derek Carr? Because he's been doing it with Aaron Rodgers, who's the best regular season quarterback. So it's going to be interesting to see. But this is based off what have you done for me lately? And last year he was 1,500 yards, he was 18 touchdowns, 1,500 yards. And oh, by the way, he missed a game last year. He only played 16. So Devontae Adams, 1A, Jamar Chase, 1B, and then this is the rest. Guys on the fringe. DK Metcalf, A.J. Brown, CeeDee Lamb.
Terry McLaurin?
Is floating in there, and Terry McLaurin.
Right.
It's actually in my notebook. Those are the 4 floating. Now, to answer your question before I get off the board.
What's my question?
Your question was, what does Jameson Williams need to do
to
get into this list?
You forgot about the pre-show conversation.
Don't worry, but see, that's how my mind works, though. I stuck with it. Jameson Williams, he just got to come out and be himself. He's got to be himself. Like, that's what Justin Jefferson did. He took what he did at LSU. He went there to Minnesota, 1,400 yards. Next year, 1,600 yards. He just did what he did at LSU. Jamar Chase, he did what he did at LSU. 1,450 yards last year. Was open in the Super Bowl to win the game if they would have had a better offensive line. Just be yourself. Don't come here and do anything different. Just be Jameson Williams, fast, you run good routes, you catch with your hands, and then listen to Coach Antoine Rondell, who's played in the Super Bowl, mind you.
2 comments.
Yep.
I don't have any problem with the list.
Yeah.
I do understand the Cooper Kupp at 6. The only thing I probably would have done is move. I think Tyreek Hill. I'd flip Tyreek Hill and Stephon Diggs, and that's nitpicking. And that's nitpicking. But 5 straight 1,000-yard seasons for Stephon Diggs, hard to argue.
I love the fact that you even said something, because I'm going to tell you, shut up. No, I'm joking. I love that. The only reason with Tyreek Hill, he was really a gadget guy in his first couple of years. Like Andy Reid found a way to work the system tremendously with him. So he's gotten better at playing wideout. Like, he's much better wideout now, but he's still, to me, not a better wideout than Stephon. It's going to be interesting this year.
And then let's take these top 6 guys for a second.
Yeah.
You ready? Aaron Rodgers.
Yep.
Joe Burrow.
Yep.
Kirk Cousins.
Yep.
Josh Allen.
Yep.
Patrick Mahomes, Matt Stafford. Which one is not like the other?
Kirk Cousins.
What Justin Jefferson is doing
So he should be number 1.
with Kirk Cousins. Yeah. I mean, think about how important
But look at his running back.
I just
Dalvin Cook.
Yeah.
Well,
that's
the one trump card he has.
But here's the other thing about that. I agree with you. All those guys, different category than Kirk Cousins, except one category, what they make. Kirk Cousins has been throwing for 4,800 yards for the last 7 years. So it's not a problem for Kirk Cousins to find wide receivers to throw for 4,800 yards. It's a problem for Kirk Cousins to win in the playoffs.
Yes.
And I got a question for you, Braylon, because there's different ways to approach these lists, right? Like if we were talking straight up fantasy football, your list may be a little bit different.
This is true.
What are you
if it's
basing
fantasy
this?
football, then he comes way up.
So what are you basing your criteria to make this top 10 list?
Can you catch with your hands? Can you catch in a big moment? Do they go to you on first down as well as third down? Can you run all the routes? Because some guys like Calvin, listen, I love Calvin to death, and this is why people get mad at me. Like Calvin Johnson's a friend of mine. He's a damn good player. He's one of the best players in NFL history. One of the best receivers in NFL history. Calvin Johnson ran 3 routes. He was going to run slant. He was going to run big dig. He was going to run deep over. That's all he ran. Go routes, everybody runs go route. That's what he had success on. When I watch film of Stephon Diggs, Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase, Devontae Adams, Cooper Kupp, Keenan Allen, those guys run slants, hitches, comebacks, curls, big digs, short digs, poker routes, post corner, inside seam, edge routes, corner routes. They run quick outs, long outs. They run it all. Like, so when I say top 10 wideouts, these are the guys that can run every route.
Okay.
These are the guys that create their own separation. These are the guys that catch with their hand. These are the guys that quarterbacks are coming to on first down, on second down, and third down. Like, some guys are just third down guys.
Right.
Some guys are just
some guys are just possession receivers.
Some guys
right?
are gadget players.
Right.
Like, we know when he comes in,
right.
It's some type of play action, and he runs a 4-2, so we're throwing it deep.
I love
These guys do it all.
And so does Braylon Edwards. Love that. Top 10.
Yes, sir.
Top 10 Thursday.
Top 10 Thursday.
There you go. All right, good stuff. Good job, Braylon. We are going to come back. I want to change it up to get to a little college football next. How does Michigan State win the Big Ten and even potentially the national championship? 4 ifs for them.
Talk coming.
We'll have it for you
better
next. But first, a
Talk
message from Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Come to Lady Jane's for an award-winning haircut experience and register for a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to win the car of your dreams from Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. No appointment necessary. It's wicked awesome.
Wicked awesome.
It took exploring 50 different formulas and hosting countless taste tests, but we believe Gypsy Vodka is the smoothest vodka on the market. Don't believe us? Ask the owners.
We're Mike and Adam Kazanowski with High Five Spirits Distillery. We're in close to about 1,200 locations throughout Michigan. We wanted to create a brand that was geared more towards freedom, love, adventure, and at the end of the day, we really wanted to tell a story that inspired other people to take risk, follow their dreams, whatever that might be.
Hey, this is Mr. Kearney, Chief Academic Officer at Academy of Warren. I want to welcome you to the brand new Field House. The state-of-the-art facility has a regulation basketball court, volleyball court, soccer field. It can be used for 7-on-7 football. Our K-8 academic features AM, PM, latchkey, small classroom sizes, Learning Street, futuristic media center, free breakfast and lunch, Houghton Mifflin curriculum, academic games, K-8 athletics, and more. Enroll today at academywarren.net.
Woodward Avenue, the first paved road in America. Woodward Sports, the first sports network born in Detroit and made for Detroit.
OddsTrader.com is the number one site for your game day bets, play-by-play updates, live scores, and the best price from multiple. That's right, multiple sportsbook. That means every bet you want to make, you can make it. Whether who's going to win the home run derby this year, whether who's going to have the most home runs this year, whether you know what, Lions 6.5, who's going to have the over from that, who's going to be in the Super Bowl, who's going to win the World Series. They have all the best bets. They have all the comparable bets. You know what, simply put, OddsTrader is the best. Go to OddsTrader.com.
All right, good stuff. Woodward Sports Network, Ryan Ermanni, Braylon Edwards stick in for Mass today. Fletch and Flannel in the house as well. Thanks for your participation. Michigan State football. Michigan State opened up their training camp today, and I do think high hopes for the Spartans and many Spartan fans. Coming off a 10-2 season in which you beat Michigan last year, you won a bowl game, pretty darn good year. How do you improve upon that this year? Do you take the next step? ESPN.com came out with 4 what-ifs for Michigan State. How do they win the national championship? And we can even minimize it a little bit because I don't know if national championship is on the docket for Michigan State.
No, it's not.
But perhaps Big Ten championship. First, if Jaden Reed has big play partners. Mel Tucker Spartans had one of the college football's best skilled core trios in Kenneth Walker III and receivers Jaden Reed and Jalen Naylor, who combined for nearly 3,500 yards rushing and receiving 38 touchdowns. Only Reed returns. Plenty of potential coming back, though. Slot man Trey Mosley, running back transfers Jarek Broussard and Jalen Berger, tight end Malik Carr, but standards are ridiculously high. They need somebody other than Jalen Reed, do they not, Bray?
Yeah, they need somebody other than Jalen Reed. Let's start here. The ifs for them winning the national championship? Stop playing. That's preposterous. The only way they can get national championship is if they poison every team they played before they played. With that being said, their dark hopes for trying to win the Big Ten, it's going to be tough to replace Campbell Walker III. Like I keep saying, and people that don't listen, he's one of the best running backs in terms of one season that the Big Ten's ever seen, especially for Michigan State. His season was phenomenal. It allowed you to open up the passing game for Peyton Thorne, to throw the ball to Jaden Ramsey, Jalen Naylor, Mosley. So it's going to hurt that he's gone. Then you miss Jalen Naylor. Jalen Naylor was a guy that made some plays. Like I legitimately am so high on Minnesota's wide receiver corps. I like Jalen Naylor to sneak in there and potentially challenge KJ Osborne to be the third wide receiver. I got him as the fourth guy right now. But with that being said, it's going to be tough because their offensive line wasn't very good last year, and it doesn't look like it got that much better this year. It's going to be a tough spot because you're bringing in new running games in terms of Broussard. You're bringing in Berger. These are transfer portal guys. If you look at their depth chart, it is a laundry list of transfer portal guys. We know Mel Tucker's had success before. Xavier Henderson's still there on defense. He's a portal guy. Last year you got lucky with Kenneth Walker III. Can you have that same success this year with Broussard and Berger in the running back position? And then you flip to the defensive side of the ball. Who's going to lead that defense? Now,
you're going through all my ifs.
Oh, my bad. I'm sorry.
You just went through 2 and 3. If a thin offensive line holds up, quarterback Peyton Thorne will simultaneously be looking for new playmakers operating behind a line that returns only one starter. The Spartans could still start up to 4 seniors, but the second string will made up mostly of freshmen and untested sophomores. Any injury at that position could be a serious problem.
Yeah, and it says seniors, and that sounds good because they have been in East Lansing for 4 years. They have been there getting work, getting better. But the fact that they didn't start last year as seniors lets you know that was for a reason. It was for a reason that they didn't play last year as juniors. So you got to be leery. You have to be scared about that. It's going to be a tough sled for Michigan State. The only good news for Michigan State, this isn't a super powerful year in the Big Ten. Outside of Michigan's offense and outside of Ohio State's team, there's no powerhouses in the Big Ten this year. You have Michigan, you have Ohio State. Penn State and Sean Clifford at quarterback, they're trying to figure it out. They're losing a lot of guys last year. Jahan Dotson, most notably. You look at Iowa. Iowa lost one of the best linemen in the NFL. He went first round. They lost one of the best D linemen, and Karlaftis, excuse me, lost one of the best D linemen last year. Karlaftis, he went in the 20s in the NFL draft. But they kept, I think, a quarterback, and then they kept a tight end. They're not powerful down there in Iowa. Maryland, they're on the fritz, and the list goes on.
Yeah.
So that's the only hope for Michigan State is it's not a super powerhouse in the Big Ten this year.
This is a big deal. If they're bend but don't break secondary, bends less. MSU didn't allow huge pass plays but ranked 110th in passing success rate allowed. Far too many free yards. Almost all of last year's secondary returns, and Georgia transfer Amir Speed joins the rotation, but MSU desperately needs more disruption in the back. This is their Achilles heel last year, was their defensive backs. I mean, just atrocious last year in that unit.
They were horrible, and our boy Alex Mayer, shout out to Alex Mayer, what's going on? Alex Mayer used to get mad when we talked about that secondary, but you know what? Numbers speak for themselves. You saw what your boy down there in Western Kentucky did to Michigan State. He ripped them, Bailey Zappi, excuse me, that's his name. Get his name right. Say his name. Bailey Zappi tore Michigan State apart, and he wasn't the only one. Cade McNamara, a guy that we didn't know could he throw the ball, he found 355 yards against that secondary last year in East Lansing. So the big thing about that secondary, guess who's a great secondary coach? Guess who's a guy that understands DBs? Well, it's your head coach. It's Mel Tucker. Mel Tucker was a defensive back coach when I was in Cleveland. Mel Tucker was a defensive back coach in Ohio, as well as maybe for the Ohio State Buckeyes, as well as the Georgia Bulldogs. So he understands secondary. It'd be interesting to see the work that he put in with those guys in this offseason, knowing that that's a position of love for him. Hey, look. They were saved and bailed out last year on that defense because for all the numbers other teams were putting up, they had a guy in the backfield called K9. And then when K9 would come through, I mean, just look at the Michigan game. Like, K9 won that game for them. 5 touchdowns, 189 yards, and 90 or whatever the hell he did. That's K9 that won those games. And then when you try to stop K9, you got Jalen Naylor out there. You got CJ, or you got Trey Mosley, and then you have Jaden Reed. So it's going to be interesting this season to see, can they bend and not break? Because that offense, they need them not to break. And I think you'll see Jaden Reed's the guy, but I'm going with Mosley, Trey Mosley, to have more yards and actually be the #1 wide receiver for them this year, Trey Mosley.
All right, final one. The god of close games continues to smile on Mel Tucker. Like Baylor, the Spartans were unsustainably successful in close games. They played in 7 games that were within 1 score in the fourth quarter, won 6 of them.
Yeah, that's tough.
That's hard to do.
No, that's impossible to do.
We talked about that with the Minnesota Vikings last year.
And they lost them.
8 of 9 games within 1 score.
And they were in the lead in all those games at some point, and they lost 8 of those.
Oh, excuse me, no. In all 9 losses, 9 were within 1 score.
100. And they led 8 of them at some point. It's going to be tough. It's really going to be tough because winning close games, that's an attitude. That is a culture. Winning those close games, not getting perturbed, not getting antsy, not getting frantic and antsy. We got this. We got this. Everybody calm down. Everybody relax. Quarterback comes to the line with a sense of calm. That calms the lineman. That calms the running back. That calms the wide receivers. And on the other side, Halliday, a linebacker, calling the plays and calming these guys down. So we're going to see what Mel Tucker is made of, because you can win some games and be understaffed. Now, you can win some games and be understaffed. You don't have to be the best team to win games on Saturdays and Sundays. But what you do have to be, you got to be a little bit lucky, you got to be a lot bit tough, and you got to be disciplined. So can Michigan State be a disciplined team, much like an Iowa is? That'll help them in the Big Ten this year.
All right, good stuff. So that's how Michigan State can win a championship in the Big Ten if they go 4 for 4 on these 4 ifs, according to ESPN.com. We're going to take a break, come right back, but first a message from Chili Peppers Tanning.
Chili Peppers Tanning, the hottest bulbs, especially on a day like this when the rain is just pouring down. You want to get a little bit of that sunshine, a little bit of that vitamin D. There's only one place to go. That is Chili Peppers Tanning. There's a local location near you. And don't forget, there's a couple right by us right here on Woodward. They're local, so go support them. They support the Woodward Sports Network. And while you're there, sign up for the Pepper Club.
Hi, my diamonds. It's Crystal with an X. You want to get hot and perfect like me? Here's my super easy routine. Drink at least a gallon of water before you wake up. Attach a weight to everything in your house. Hello? Sell your car and just sprint everywhere. Scream when you exhale.
Don't follow Crystal with an X. Do your own thing at Planet Fitness with tons of equipment and free fitness training in our clean and spacious clubs. Join now for just $10 a month and cancel anytime.
Hi, I'm John from Better Rate Mortgage, and to me, family is more than blood. That's why I have the biggest family in Metro Detroit. If you're looking to buy a house or refinance and need a loan, come get treated better than family by me and our entire team here at Better Rate Mortgage. We pride ourselves on giving you better advice, better service, and a better loan experience. That's why we are Better Rate. If you're looking for a new mortgage, come get treated like family. Actually, better with Better Rate Mortgage. Visit us at mybetterrate.com or call at 248-480-4467 today.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side.
Lemieux and McCarty, who've had a good knockdown drag up. There they go, right on the whistle. They were talking to one another.
Woodward Sports.
Yeah, I love when they whisper during the commercial. It gets me so excited to go to Big Boy and get my ciabatta sandwich, and they're doing it for the rest of the summer. And when you go there, you get free fries and a free Pepsi. You can't beat that with your sandwich. It all goes down so smoothly, and there's a Big Boy right by you. So make sure you go to Big Boy, get that chicken club, get the chicken cordon bleu, and of course the sunrise ham and cheddar. Ciabattas, baby!
Ciabatta.
They're here. Go
There
get
you
them.
go. Get it. All right, guys. Here we go. Jeez, is it that time already?
It's over, man.
Braylon, it's the time of the day we like to play Maz's videos of the day.
And now it's time for Maz's Videos of the Day, only on the Woodward Sports Network.
All right, well, here we go. You know, Ermanni, I know you came in, you were sad. We didn't get our daily dose of Dan Campbell today. This video is a couple days old, but it's Dan Campbell, so I will watch it till the end of time. Here's our boy doing down-ups, wrist taped and everything like he's getting in the game, and this
So
is why
good.
we love Dan Campbell right here. Look at this. Wrist taped. In there with the players.
Oh, yeah.
Braylon, what does that mean for you when a coach is doing that with you?
It means he better be right in there. He better be right in there with me in the training room once that knee goes out on him. He better calm down. No, but you know what? It's great, man. Like, I remember Romeo Cornell, who's on the heavier side of life. He used to get out there, man, and run over and backs with us, and we would look at him like, dang, Romeo's actually roaming. It's a dope feeling. It's cool. All right, man, Braylon. Are you ready to go? I was like, I am. I don't know about you, but it's cool. It's a good feeling. You see a guy out there getting it with you because he's going back to his roots, and then you remember, oh, shoot, Coach was a player.
Yeah.
Like, that's what you want the memory to be like, oh, Coach was a player, which means you're so good at being a coach now, guys forget you were playing.
My high school coach, obviously, I never played at the NFL level, but my high school coach, he would light us up sometimes. George Port, he'd have the arm pad on. You'd go around to try to tackle him, and every once in a while, you'd forget that he was an all-state football player, and he would light your butt up.
Yeah.
So
Great.
you love that out of coaches. This video I've watched several times, and I don't know the scenario on this. I don't know what's happening. At first, I thought it was some dude trying to get this girl out the apartment because he was getting caught cheating. Then I thought it could be a domestic dispute, but something's happening here. I don't know what it is. Maybe you guys can figure it out.
Where do you find this?
I don't know where this happened, but like the fact that she's almost butt-ass naked it says to me, it's like, my girl's home. You gotta go.
Oh, she was sitting in the chair.
I don't know.
Yeah, it looks like she's sitting in a chair, and then
he's like, you gotta go.
It's like he tries to pull her out of the chair, and that's wow,
dude.
Yeah.
She's in a robe.
She's in a robe?
She's in the robe, and she pulls him out.
So, yeah. What's the scenario there? Like, what's the backstory? That's all I want to know.
Look at it again.
You got play that one more time. You got me intrigued on that one. So
he's sitting down.
Oh, he's sitting down.
The naked chick is in the robe.
Well, she butt naked on the floor.
She's trying to pull him.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
Because her robe is like a plaid.
Did she catch him cheating? Like, what leads to that? That's what I want.
Okay, but here's another caveat in the words of D-Mac. Why is he sitting in the chair on the deck in a suit? Because he has a suit on.
There's a lot to unpack in this video.
God.
It's a 2-second video, but there's so much.
I can't unsee this.
That's the greatest video I've ever seen.
Thank you,
Dude,
guys.
Stick,
Trying to figure it out. I'm like,
Stick's bringing the heat.
And I know, I mean, we're all fellas. We've all been on first dates. I'm out in the dating world again. And, you know, when you make that first move, it's a little nerve-wracking.
Very true.
My man in the car, he's making his first move. And look what happens.
See what happens, man.
You know, left hand on that steering wheel, right hand on the...
That's the first date?
Oh, what's that? He picks up he's nervous. He picks up the water bottle.
That's different.
It's like, yep, okay. She didn't say no.
Oh.
It's the water bottle shake that got me, man.
So is this the first date or the first move?
It's just for the
first move.
Well, see this one though. These TikToks.
Because what I would say about it is, if it's the first date, even the first move, hands kind of high. I would say he went a little too high with the first move. It should have been mid thigh
to the knee.
Yes, but it's in that knee, but on the top side of the knee, kind of get it going.
Gradually take a little step.
There you go, because that right there, that's like, nah, you just got dumped.
God, I don't even know what I do. I have no game.
When's the last time you when's the time you dated?
Man.
You should be dating your wife every day.
Right.
Well,
I do take
we
her
know
out
that,
for-
but I'm saying
No, Ryan picked up barbecue on your way home last night.
Yeah,
man.
almost a decade.
Decade.
Boy.
Okay.
Wow. Attaboy. And then here we had a video yesterday
tough,
of a dog
man.
hopping up the stairs, walking funny. I love dog videos. Look at this dude taking flight, man.
It's tough, man.
Oh, man. Dude, he's flying.
It'd be the women's.
It's QR
It's the
Kelly.
women's, man.
I believe I can fly.
That's so great.
Yeah, they told me I couldn't do this. Watch this.
Don't believe me, just watch. And what's he swimming to? He just
great.
launches.
He jumped over all the rocks. The fact that he didn't know the rocks were there, like, what gave him the confidence to take that? See, this is what life is about. Like, he doesn't know the rocks are there.
Right.
He took the leap. Sometimes you just got to take the leap,
That's
man.
it.
And then, of course, for the final video of the day, my favorite
Final.
country on the entire planet is America. And there's nothing more American than playing catch. There's nothing more American than when you're doing it with a heater in your mouth. You guys sent this video to me last night. Had to use it, man. I love this stuff. Look at these guys. This is San Francisco. Look at this guy.
Oh, this is great.
So the thing that you guys can't hear that are watching at home is the commentator. This was during the San Francisco Giants game, and the commentator said, look at this guy out there just enjoying life. He's out there playing catch. He's got a smag in his mouth. I was like,
so
what
great.
the hell is a snag?
And the crazy part is, like, in the 40s, that's what Major League Baseball players look like.
yeah.
Like, they were out there smoking on the field.
That's why I say Babe would have no chance today.
Oh, no. Oh, God, no.
They weren't smoking when he was smoking. He was smoking that hashish.
But you know that kid was like an all-star pitcher when he was 9 years old and still has that trophy.
Unbelievable.
But, yeah, those are your videos of the day.
Stick coming through
Great
again,
job,
man.
Stick. Hey, everybody out there,
With
thanks
the
for
heat.
watching. Tell a friend about Woodward Sports. We're here 2 to 4 live every day. And then, of course, anytime you want us over on YouTube. Right?
When we were at Stanford last week, man, sometimes you just gotta meet new people. You know, open yourself up to meet new people, man. Don't buy into the rhetoric that is once you get out of high school or out of college, you can't make new friends. Yeah, it's hard. But be open to new people. We were at Stanford. I met Brian Martinez and his wife Sherry. Cool people, man. They talked about their Corvette, went outside, saw their limited edition Corvette that they had. They both served. So we appreciate your service with that. But also invited me over for some barbecue this weekend. Saturday, I got an invite to the house over there, man. So guess what? I'm going over there to enjoy the Michigan Man Cave they have. So appreciate you, Brian, as well as Sherry Martinez. We're going to go over there, shoot some food, and have some fun,
so
man.
friggin' cool,
Hey, man, you meet people in life, take chances in life. Now, you know what I'm saying? I have my GPS location that I'm sharing with a couple people so y'all know where I'm at. But take chances in life and have fun,
Dude,
man.
that's awesome.
That's what we do
That's
here.
very cool.
That's
Good
what we
stuff.
do at the bottom line every day, man. We take chances.
Appreciate that. Brand, love you. Stick,
Love you
thanks
too,
so
buddy.
much. Love you guys, too. Fletch, Flannel, you guys rock.
Sam, get us out of here.
Say bye, Sam.
Yeah, so I'm actually not going to be here tomorrow. So, yep, you're going to have fish. So for the week, that is end for me. And have a great day tonight. Have a great night tonight, and we will see you tomorrow for the bottom line.
Love it.
There you go. I love it.
Good job.
Good job.
Job.